Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Attorney General Garland, you said in our last exchange that it's your practice to defer to FBI agents in the field when it comes to investigations, apprehensions of subjects. I was interested, given your answer, to read in this morning's Washington Post that the FBI is saying that you overruled them when it came to raiding ex-President Trump's personal residence. Washington Post reports this morning, showdown before the raid, that senior FBI officials who would be in charge of leading the search resisted doing so as too combative and proposed instead to seek Trump's permission to search his property. These field agents wanted to shutter the criminal investigation altogether in early June, the Post reports, but they were overruled by Maine DOJ. So I guess in light of your earlier testimony just this morning, my question is, how often do you overrule FBI field agents for political purposes?
I've skimmed that article. That's not an accurate reflection of what the article says, and I'm not able to comment on the investigation. My comment earlier was about tactics on the ground in particular cases.
Wait. You said it's not I'm reading to you from the article. Quote, senior FBI officials who would be in charge of leading the search resisted the plan as too combative and proposed instead to seek Trump's permission to seek his property, according to 4 people who spoke on condition of anonymity to describe a sensitive investigation, end quote.
Again, I have to say I'm not able to describe the investigation. I will say as a general matter and at a high level of generality, that in my experience, long experience as a prosecutor, there is often a robust discussion, and in the end, and it's encouraged among investigators and prosecutors.
Attorney General, my time is very
made.
Yes, and you made the decision.
I did. That's
right.
Not,
you said you did.
No, I'm sorry. What I said was I approved the decision.
So you didn't make the decision to raid?
I approved the decision to seek a search warrant after probable cause was
overruling the FBI agents who did not want to do so. Did you talk about this with the White House beforehand?
The memorandum does not, Washington Post article does not say what you're saying. I'm sorry. And I'm not able to describe this in any further detail.
I think given that, Mr. Chairman, I'll just ask that this entire article be entered into the record.
Without objection.
And we can read for ourselves. I invite people to go and look. It says exactly that FBI field agents did not want to conduct the raid, and they were overruled by DOJ. So it doesn't seem to me, Attorney General, that the FBI has a lot of confidence in you, because what they're doing clearly is trying to distance themselves from your decisions. They're out there leaking left, right, and center and saying it wasn't us. We didn't want to do it. He made us do it. What's that say about their confidence in your leadership?
No, the previous senator said that they're leaking all in favor of the left. Now you're saying they're leaking all in favor of
I'm asking you my question. Answer my question based on this evidence. Don't dissemble, Attorney General.
Time has expired.
Answer my question.
Time has expired. Senator Cotton.
Mr. Attorney General, I want to return to the illegal protest outside of Supreme Court justices' homes last summer. It's plainly unlawful to protest outside of a judge's home to influence the outcome of a pending case. You testified earlier that as far as you know, no charges have been brought against those protesters, but you never really explained why. Why have no charges been brought against those protesters?
The decision about making arrests is left to the marshals on scene. Their principal
marshals are law enforcement officials. They're not prosecutors. I did not say arrests. I said charges. These people were not criminal masterminds. They posted videos of themselves on their social media accounts. They advertised the protest in advance. It is possible to arrest someone for an offense after the offense has occurred, has it not?
It is. And
why did you not send anyone to arrest those protesters in the days after the protests?
We're allocating our resources towards protecting the lives of the justices and their families. Decisions have to be made on the ground as to what is the best way to protect those lives.
Mr. Attorney General, do you not think that it would perhaps provide a deterrent effect if you arrested some of these criminal protesters and charged them and threw them in federal prison?
We are trying to protect the lives of the justices. That is our principal priority. I'm leaving it to the Marshal Service to make determinations on the ground. They have to make determinations about what they see on the ground.
Look, consider the efforts your department has put into tracking down everyone who was even on the Capitol grounds on January 6, 2021. You've dedicated millions of man-hours to study videotape, to do forensic analysis of computers and devices, to go knock and conduct interviews. You can't allocate just a few agents to look at people's social media accounts and say they were present outside of a justice's home, we're going to go arrest them and charge them? It's a black letter violation of the law.
Our priority is violence and threats of violence and protection of the lives of the justices, and that is what we're doing.
Again, these are not criminal masterminds. They posted pictures and videos of themselves protesting. You could probably go arrest one today from a cold start. Why can't you do that?
I'm saying again, our purpose is to protect the lives and safety of the justices. That's how we're allocating resources.
You sent the FBI, as several senators pointed out, to do an early morning raid on Mark Houck's home in front of his children for the grave crime of singing hymns and saying prayers outside of an abortion clinic, charges of which he was acquitted by a jury of his peers within an hour. You can't send the FBI to track down anybody who is protesting outside the home of a Supreme Court justice?
And I want to be clear, our purpose here is to protect the lives and safety of the justices.
I think
that's why we're doing that.
The answer is that you are sympathetic to the protesters, that you didn't like the decision the justices were about to issue. I think we all know what you would do if a bunch of conservative protesters were outside the home of a Democratic appointed justice to the Supreme Court.
No one has ever been arrested under that statute.
It's a simple black letter legal violation. You will not send a single agent to conduct a single arrest and charge them on something that they have zero defense for. It's because you're sympathetic to left-wing protesters.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Attorney General, I want to go back to what we discussed earlier with the 2 tiers of justice. And the answers you've given us, you're very subjective in how you approach decisions. You don't seem to be rules-based in how you make these decisions. As a matter of fact, you come across as being very political in the decisions that you make. And politicizing your work is something that really offends most Tennesseans. But I want to ask you about this 2 tiers of justice, particularly in the way you've responded to congressional oversight investigations. The House Judiciary Committee recently requested that you turn over documents relating to the special counsel investigation of President Biden's mishandling of classified documents. But your DOJ so far has stonewalled the House request, claiming you can't turn over documents on an open matter. Now let's compare that with your decision, obviously very subjective, to fully cooperate with document request from the House January 6th committee. Your FBI had no problem at all turning over documents and information to that committee, even though they related to an open investigation. Do you see this comparison here? Do you appreciate this? This is a prime example of 2 tiers of justice, your 2-tier system, who you're going to cooperate with and who you are not. So why have you cooperated with the document requests that were made from Democratic-led committees, but you have refused Chairman Jordan and you have refused the House Judiciary Committee when they are requesting documents that pertain to President Biden's mishandling of classified documents?
So we greatly respect the oversight responsibilities of the committees of the Congress. And at the same time, we have to protect our ongoing investigations. I do not believe we turned over information to the January 6th committee about ongoing
Attorney General,
investigations.
your response is you give one set of responses for Republicans, another for Democrats. You have one tier of justice for people that are conservatives and another for those that are on the left. You told me earlier that you didn't know who Jane's Revenge is. They are all over Twitter. I'm going to do you a favor. I am going to send you a letter with a whole lot of Twitter and different feeds to help you in that investigation for the hope.